I'm going to make a Cantonese dish. This dish is specifically medicinal. It's used for postpartum to help dispel the wind after giving birth. However, it's also an incredibly popular dish because lots of people just like eating it. And it's healthy, obviously. And there are some interesting byproducts, which is that when you finish making it, you have a gel which you can then keep in the fridge and put on top of rice for a very quick breakfast. So here we have 2 fresh and very clean big trotters, which we're just going to put straight in the bottom of a large pan. Doing that to make maximum space by doing this, and lots of ginger, a lot of ginger. A lot of people peel ginger, but as long as you wash it, there's no need to peel it. So slicing the ginger into quite large chunks. How much? No idea. And we're also going to add Chinese dried shitake mushrooms. These have been soaking just for a couple of hours just to help soften them up. We're not even going to bother cutting them. We're just going to throw them in complete with the stalks, because the stalks add flavour as well. So that is about as easy as it's possible to get. And the last thing that goes in here, yes, you're right, except for water, there are a total of 3 ingredients here. Last thing is black vinegar. This is not balsamic vinegar, although it has some things in common with it. But you get it from Chinese supermarkets. A big bottle of this is surprisingly inexpensive. I'm going to put the whole bottle in. Move the chopping board out of the way because it's not being used anymore. And you can see that. You see? Yes. That much in there. Now, this is sweetened vinegar. So that means that it can burn to the bottom of the pan. We don't want that because it gets stuck. So we're going to turn the heat on full. And while that's coming to the boil, we're going to fill this up with water. So the mix is 50% vinegar, 50% water. It's sweetened, so we're not going to add sugar to it. It's kind of pickling, but not really. And we're not going to add any soy sauce or anything. Some people do. But what happens is a lot of people say, you should add loads of soy sauce into this, but then they say mine, which has no soy sauce. And they say, how do you get those flavours? The answer is stripping it back to its absolute basics and keeping everything as simple as you can possibly keep it. So that is now going to come to the boil. When it does, we're going to cover it, and then we're going to put it just to simmer for 6 hours. So it's very, very quick in terms of contact time, but from beginning to plate, it takes quite a long time. There's no point in you staying here watching this come to the boil, just so I can cover it and put it to simmer. So I'm going to turn you off, and you can come back in 6 hours and see what we have. So here we are, 6 hours later, and we're getting ready to dish out. This is just finished, so it's beeped. This is where we're going to prepare the bok choy, and we have a secret. This is pork fat. I'm just going to drop a couple of pieces in the pan, and that's going to end up producing an oil, a fat. Going to cook it. Some people think this is lard. This is not lard. This is pork fat. It's only lard once it's been rendered down. It's out of the bag while I was away. So this takes just a few minutes to start to coat. There's an awful lot of people who, historically, from the 1970s and 80s and 90s, who took the view that if you're going to cook with any animal fat, that was a necessarily bad thing. So they went around saying you've got to cook with vegetable oils and like. And then subsequently, they decided that there was bad things in that and started talking about trans fats and other things. And then after that, there's been another body of research that says it's absolutely fine. So people, it's fine to use animal fat, as long as you don't use lots and lots of it. And basically, it seems to me that what was happening was that we had a big fight in the USA where the Hindus decided that McDonald's was cooking its chips, which it doesn't call chips, of course, in beef fat, and that was therefore offensive to them. And then we had other religious groups saying you can't use pork fat when you're cooking because it's offensive to us. And gradually what was happening was we were seeing the idea of cooking with animal fats being pushed aside by people who had special interests. And thankfully, we're now seeing a recognition that if people don't want to cook with it, that's up to them. If they don't want to go to restaurants where it's being cooked with, that's fine, that's up to them. But for the rest of us who want to use animal fat in our cooking, then there's no good reason why we shouldn't. And so we are thankfully back in a position where we're doing that. So you'll see this has not rendered very much, but what it has done, is to create a gloss on the pan, which is all we really need. We don't need a huge amount of oil. We just need the pan to be not completely dry. Vegetable which has been washed and therefore has water in it. And so we've got in there like that. And we're going to take just a little bit of cooking wine, sprinkle that over it. Can you hear me, Mother? I've got the microphone in case the voice from the cooking is dominating what we're doing. Right, we're going to leave it crunchy. We're not going to make this so it's all wilted and like you see spinach where it looks like somebody's been chewing it. We're not going to do that. In fact, the only reason we're doing this is because when we plate up the pig's trotters, which are now ready incidentally, that our problem is going to be that we have nothing with it, and it's nice if you have something with it. You can serve this with pork, you can serve it with rice, you can serve it with noodles, any sort of rice. It's actually very nice with red rice, and it's very nutty and it complements it very well. But here we're just looking to give it something so it's not sitting on its own, looking very brown in a pan, because looking very brown in a pan is quite boring. So that's enough of that. I'll just turn it off. Take the bowl and chopsticks. Excuse me. We'll put it around the edge. Remember, always wash your hands, because half the time the hands are the most effective implement for all kinds of purposes. It's great. I'm going to lay it across the edge neatly. It's easier to do. And now I'm going to get told that my voice disappeared. I have to learn. I mean, honestly, I've spent my life in studios of one sort or another, and I'm absolutely rubbish at this. I don't remember what it is that I'm supposed to do for the camera or for the microphone, because now I'm doing it all myself, whereas over decades, there's always been an engineer, there's been a sound engineer, there's been a camera technician. I've not had to do anything for myself, and now I'm completely lost. And it's kind of embarrassing just how awful I am at this. And I know you don't forgive me. I know you're going to say, oh, but somebody else manages it. And you're right, they do. But that's because they're more attuned to this than I am. I have other things that I'm very, very good at. This is clearly not one. Oh, come on, you stupid. This is clearly not one of them. You know what? That's not going to go where I want it to go. So, chef's treat. So now we have a bowl which looks okay. You'll notice that the meat has shrunk away from the bones. So when you're eating this, you have to be very careful. There's lots of bones in it. There are many bones in it. And that is a one-person portion. Serve it on whatever you want to serve it on. Rice or noodles or whatever. Just serve it in a broth. No, my hand's in the way. My son, who's really good at this, tells me, you've got to find some way to cook without putting your hands in the way. My answer is, well, if my hands and arms are not in connection with the food, how the hell am I supposed to be cooking the food? Okay, here we go. Pig's trotter cooked in black vinegar and ginger and Chinese mushroom. While you were away incidentally, I did come and cut up the mushrooms because by then they were soft enough, so we have mushrooms that we can drop in here too. And somewhere in here, relatively big chunks of ginger I can drop in. And when I'm eating this, being able to eat the ginger is one of my treats. Okay, there it is. Go and take another nice photograph somewhere else, shall we?